Welcome everyone, Mike with Bauer's Backyard. This morning I am up before the sun is, so that means I'm probably making a brisket. I'm actually cooking a brisket today on my new REC TEC Bullseye. I know anytime that I'm shopping for a smoker, I'm always curious how it cooks brisket. So today we're going to find out how this REC TEC does. Let's start the fire. We're cooking today. Starting off at 200, which is the low setting on the REC TEC Bullseye. We'll probably bump it up after 6 hours to 225 to 250. So the reason why I started off on the low setting is the low setting actually produces a little bit more smoke in the beginning. That'll be very important to get as much smoke flavor as we can on this brisket. For me personally, pellet grills are a little too light on smoke. This will actually help with that. And after that 6 hour mark, we'll go ahead and bump it up to 225, maybe 250, and finish the brisket off. Let's get this thing seasoned up. All right, so we're in the middle of this coronavirus situation. Meat isn't the easiest thing to come by. I did find this brisket, it's probably one of the worst I've ever cooked. From looking at it, you know, I spent a lot of work trimming to make it look this bad. It's in pretty bad shape. But we're going to work with what we got. I've had this happen before, and it turned out to actually be one of the best briskets I've ever cooked. So let's hope this is the same thing. As far as seasoning this, I'm just doing a simple salt and pepper mix. I'm going to do the fat side first, because on pellet grills, I don't like to cook fat side down to protect that meat from the heat coming from below. With brisket, this is a big cut of meat, so it can take a lot of rub. We're going to work through these little crevices from the butcher. Get this covered as best as possible. Pat. Let's take a little bit more here. Make sure you cover every little piece of this brisket you can. That'll create a beautiful bark. All right. Now the top side, we'll be a little bit more liberal on this one. That'll be the presentation side. So how do you season your briskets? Let me know in the comments below. Do you do a simple salt and pepper? Or is there a specific brand or homemade rub that you use? I'm all for trying new things. Alright, this settle in here. This last side here. If you want to see a good trimming video, I suggest you check out James at Ammo and Claymore Smokers. That dude, he's like a surgery, man. He'll sit there for a long time and make it look absolutely stunning. I am not that patient. Mad props to James. Alright, let's cook this on the bullseye. Alright, so the REC TEC Bullseye is still coming up to temp. I don't know if you can see down there, but it's about at 176. Like I said earlier, the low setting usually hangs around the 200 mark. You can see here that fan pulsating to generate more smoke. Now typically, on a smoker, that white smoke is bad. On a pellet smoker, I haven't seen it give a bitter taste. In fact, I always think it helps. So I tend to put my briskets on as soon as possible, even if I have a little bit of white smoke. Alright, let's get this brisket on. As you can see, I have the water pan underneath the grill grate. This will help protect the brisket from the heat coming up from below, as well as keep some moisture in the cooker. Okay, we're doing this fat side down. We'll see this again About an hour or two, we come to Spritz. See you then. Sun's up and I just woke up. That's one of the beautiful things about having a pellet grill, is that you can get a little bit of sleep. Let's go ahead and spritz this brisket. Looking pretty good here. I'm happy with that. As far as spritz goes, just plain water. Alright, we'll check it again in a couple hours. Y'all meet my new grilling buddy, Jack. With my 8-year-old daughter, just hit her 2-year cancer-free mark. This is how she wanted to celebrate. So far, I think I'm enjoying it more than she is. So the brisket's been on for about 5 hours now using the low settings. Let's go ahead and take a look at it, spritz it, and bump that temperature on up. You see that low temperature setting? The smoke really comes out here. I can see that this color's looking pretty amazing. A little spritz. All right, let's bump up the temperature. Went ahead and made it at 250. The brisket's been on for about 7 hours now. I'm about to take a look at it and see what the bark's like. If it's looking good, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. Otherwise, I'll just check the temperature and spritz. Let's go take a look. That looks pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Let's take a look at the temperature. About 148. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. See you inside. A little better light so you can see that bark on there. Looking pretty good. So the temperature was at 148. We're going to be eating here in about 4 to 5 hours. So I want to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. So I'm going to use foil today versus butcher paper. All right, get it back on the smoker. Actually, I need to fix this a little bit. We're gonna try this again. This little patchwork on my foil job. All right, now let's put this on the smoker. Much better. All right, so now that it's wrapped, I'm gonna go ahead and use the built-in thermometer, the REC TEC Bullseye, to monitor the temperature of this, so I'll have to keep lifting the lid. We'll see this when it reads about 195. See you then. All right, we're about 10 hours into this cook. It's a long time for a brisket this size. The brisket after trimming was probably around the 11 to 12 pound range. But remember, I started off the first 5 hours doing only a temperature of about 200 degrees. So this is kind of expected, but what I have to do on the pellet grill. But I want to go take a look at the pellets, see how much we burned through so far. When I started this up, this thing was filled to the top. See, there's quite a bit in there. For 10 hours, not bad at all. I'm really impressed with that. Brisket, it's reading about 182 right now, so getting closer. I did rotate it a little bit. That flat was actually getting pretty warm compared to the point, so I wanted to go ahead and put the point closer to the exhaust. So the REC TEC thermometer is measuring 201 internal temperature for the meat. Let's take a look. Now earlier off camera, I did have to rotate this again. Like I said in the last clip, the flat was getting warmer than the point. Well, it flip-flopped on us. So I think anytime you're doing brisket, you want to kind of go left or right on that. It's something I learned in today's cook. Alright, let's check for probe tenderness. I still got resistance there. It's showing 197, which doesn't surprise me. The point, I'm good. Flat, give me a little bit of resistance too, not much. So we're gonna get this another 10 minutes. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes. It's now reading 203. Let's check that middle point for resistance. That feels pretty good. It's time to pull it. Now that it's been pulled, let's take a look at the pellets. I would say it just went a little bit more than half of the hopper. Not bad at all. Alright, so the brisket is now resting in my oven. Don't have the oven turned on. I don't have it on low or anything like that. I'm going to let it rest there for about an hour and a half for dinner time. And we'll go in and slice it up. But just a quick recap, that brisket did cook for 11 hours and 15 minutes. Again, the first 5 hours was at 200. The remaining time was at 250. Brisket's been resting for about an hour and a half. Looking pretty good. Let's slice it up. All right, let's slice into this thing. My slicing knife is pretty dull and I can't get it sharpened during the Rona, so we're gonna go snow style and use an electric knife here. Electric knife is much better. That looks pretty good. I don't squeeze meat anymore. I used to, but learn not to do that. Flat looks pretty good too. Slice it up. All right, let's go ahead and try a little bit over here. Pretty decent bend test, not too bad at all. A little drier than I would like, but first time using a cooker, I learned it. Remember earlier I said the middle came in a little late to the party. Flavor is spot on. Probably the best pellet cooked brisket I've ever had. I like that a lot. A little juicy there. It's pretty good. That was definitely a success. I like that brisket a lot. I like it better than I did with my 680. That Bullseye is pretty legit. All right, I'll give you a recap here in a moment. All right. Okay, so that might have been the best pellet smoked brisket I've ever had. The flat wasn't quite as moist as I wanted it to be, but damn, it was good. I'm really happy with that. As far as the fatty end, the point, that was phenomenal as well. Just the fat just melted in your mouth. Like I said, easily the best pellet smoked brisket I've ever had. The smoke flavor on there is actually more than what I would get off my 680, so that makes me happy, as this gives me an option for the nights I just don't feel like tending to fire. I have a pellet grill that I'm comfortable with results on. All right, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and y'all have a great day. The fire is out.